An open rehearsal is a rehearsal that is treated almost like a pre-show activity where members of the cast go through the paces of a rehearsal process and you get the opportunity to see, to acknowledge, to appreciate some of the work that goes into a finished product. It is our hope, it is my hope that I will see all of your faces come either next week, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, so you will be able to, and you will be in a better position to appreciate that product, the process, or process the product journey. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
Once on This Island. It's a musical happening this coming weekend from actually today, 29th of June to the 1st of July at Pigeon Point Heritage Park Pavilion. This morning, I want to welcome the artistic director of TPAC and the director of Once on This Island, Rayshon Pierre, as well as the orchestrator coordinator for TPAC and the musical director for the musical starting this evening, Mr. O.J. Richards. They join us via Zoom. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right, so let's get into it one time. Rayshon, let me start with you. Tell me why this musical. First of all, who wrote it and why did you guys decide to do this musical on this weekend?
So Once on This Island is written by Lynn Ahrens with music by Stephen Flaherty, and it is a Broadway musical that is licensed by Musical Theatre International. We thought it fit to produce this particular musical one because the Tobago Performing Arts Company is a multidisciplinary one, which means that we house a number of disciplines under the performing arts under one umbrella. So the musical allows us access and range to do work in dance and music and drama. Coming off of our last flagship, which would have been Bitter Cassava, we knew we wanted something with a little bit more diversity, a different kind of diversity, because part of our work in the Tobago space is also to keep our audiences excited. And from an internal perspective, it really allowed us to stretch our own selves in the company, stretch the players, because the musical requires a certain kind of preparation. So when all of those factors come together, we said, you know what? Once on This Island.
Yeah. How would you compare the preparation for Once on This Island versus Bitter Cassava?
The difference is, in the first instance, Once on This Island, the languaging is different. OJ will tell you better. The music is a little bit more challenging because the bulk of the play's music, as it is a musical, the players themselves had to build their fitness, had to build their endurance, but it also forced us to tell a story that is written about us essentially, but in new and creative ways. So what we've done is we've put our heads down and we've found ways in which, coming out of that Broadway story, we can find Tobago nuances and sensibilities and Tobago cultural material and see them in there very seamlessly.
Yeah. OJ, I want to jump across to you because, as Rayshon mentioned, it was written about us, but not necessarily by us or for us, right? So
Yes.
We have the challenge of being able to translate that musically into our palette. How has that job been so far?
Correct. It's been interesting, but it's actually been fun. Basically, what I had to do was transcribe the music from the Western instruments, such as like violin, guitar, you have the wind, in our culture, or steel pan. Basically, by the fact of I received and
All right, OJ, let me jump in here because I think we're having some technical challenges with your connection there. But from what I was able to gather, I understand that you've been involving some of our national instruments as part of making the process a little bit easier. So, Rayshon, if people are interested, tell us where we can get tickets. I'm seeing some information up on the screen here. Of course, it's happening for 3 nights. Rayshon, you still here with us?
I am right here.
All right, nice. So tell us about the ticket info. It's in 200 for adults, 100 for children.
And yes, and you can get them still on islandetickets.com, as well as the Show Park Cultural Complex box office. And tonight at the venue, you will be able to get tickets live at the venue, and that would be the process for the rest of the weekend. So you have those 3 options.
All right, and just to be clear on the actual venue itself, it's Pigeon Point Heritage Park, which is the entire thing is the beach and everything included, but we are using specifically the pavilion area, yeah?
Using the pavilion, which is outside, which is once you drive down into Pigeon Point and you pass the security, the pavilion is that very cute little venue that is tucked away into the sand before you get into Pigeon Point.
All right, nice. And so then any other activities happening in and around the area shouldn't affect the quality of this production, yeah?
No, it should not. We do not anticipate that would be the case.
Tell me a little bit, Rayshawn, before we go, tell me a little bit about the process of getting the license to be able to do this Once on an Island, because you mentioned that it's a Broadway musical. What was that process like to deal with MTI and to, be able to make this happen legitimately?
Yeah. It was actually pretty simple. Once we reached out to MTI and we expressed our interest, what they have is an information generator. So your license is based on how many days you would like to produce the show, the size of the cast. Simple in terms of what you have to give to them, but what you really have to do is compile quite a lot of information. So we needed to know size of our cast, remuneration of our players, the venues that we were going to be using, the size of the venue. And once we had gotten through that process, they granted us the license, they granted us the logo. So the logo that you're seeing on screen is actually a licensed MTI logo. They gave us the librettos, all of the scores. And it was really interesting for us as a performing arts company to see the way in which they treat work that is protected, work whose intellectual property is protected by the state. So that was, and because that is where we aspire to be, it was really, really interesting.
Nice, man. Tell me, Rayshawn seems to have been frozen as well, unfortunately, but that was very vital information, I think, there for us to be able to understand the creative process and the business behind the creative process as well. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. We still have some time before we get to 8 o'clock, so we still have some more information, some more interviews, and a whole lot more. So stay tuned. It's the Now Morning Show.